It's time to take command with former NFL tight end Logan Paulsen and former Commanders beat reporter Craig Hoffman.
Take 5, the 5-minute edition of Take Command. Thursday means story time, Logan. And since the Commanders already played Philadelphia this year, we often say, like, hey, let's do stories about either our times covering, in my case, or playing against, in your case, the opponent, or sometimes when there's a Logan Paulsen Bowl, playing for the opponent. But I had a slightly different twist that I wanted to go for story time today. I'm curious the strongest guy or guys you ever played with or against, because that has been a topic of conversation with the brotherly shove. It's a constant reminder that Jalen Hurts squats 600 pounds. And while that's not like the heaviest squat in the NFL, that's insane pretty heavy for a quarterback. That's truly not like per body weight. That is probably one of the most impressive guys in the NFL. So I'm curious, for you, like when you think of like the strongest dudes you ever played with or against, or like crazy things you saw in the weight room, between a couple of meatheads here, what comes to mind?
That's a good question. So obviously, like my Trent Williams story, I've told a bunch, but like he was a guy that wasn't super like weight room strong, but like one of my favorite stories about him was like it was his rookie year. He wasn't really like lifting weights really. I kind of just chilling, and their strength coach Ray Wright was like, "Come on, dude! Like today you're lifting." And they were kind of going back and forth, and Ray was like, all right, if you hit 500 a day, you don't have to do the lift. And so I was like, no way. Dude hasn't like touched a weight for like weeks, maybe even months. Like it's been a long time, you know? So he gets in there, 135 on the bar, bang, like your bar's empty, 225 really fast.
It's a squat in here we're talking
about.
No,
this is bench press.
Oh.
Bench press. So I'm like, and I'm kind of doing my workout, like kind of watching out of the corner of my eye, 315. Bow. I'm like, okay, like 405. Like there's no like in between jumps. 405.
Right. It's just add another 45-pound plate to each side of the bar.
Yeah, and it was like 405, and it was like I think he did like a set of 3. It was like bang, 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 and it's like rattling and shaking. And I was like, dude, that looked like 135 to me. Then they go 495, bang, and then it was like 505, bang, bang for a double. Racks it, gets up, and he's like, am I good? And Ray was like, yeah. And then he just walked out and left. Like, didn't even like warm up really. And I was like, oh my God, like what creature is that? You know what I'm saying? And like, there were dudes that were like really strong, like Philip Daniels. When I played with him, he was like a competitive power lifter. He could deadlift like 7. I think he could squat like 685 or something like that. He had like a 500-pound bench press, and he like looked it. Mike Sellers was ridiculously strong in the weight room. I remember there was one time he went through like this crazy volume phase, and he was like, how many times do you think I do 225? And I was like, I have no idea, Mike. And he's like, I'm going to try it today. I think he did it 44 times, like in the middle of season, just like off some, like, I want to see how many times I could do it kind of thing. And Vernon Davis was insane. I remember we were working out one time, and we were doing speed bench. So they had like the Tendo units hooked up to the bar, and I'm pretty strong. Not really, like by NFL standards, I'm like probably right in the middle. And Vernon's like, all right, what are you gonna hit today? And I was like, probably 275. He's like, okay. I'm like, what are you gonna hit? He's like, probably 405. I'm like, this is a speed day. He's like, yeah, I think I got it. And so we had to keep the bar velocity over like 1.5 or something like that. And so I'm on 225,
which is really fast.
And I'm on 225. Like it's a struggle, man. It's not even that close. And Vernon's like, all right, my turn. I'm like, yeah, 405. And it was like, I forget which way it goes, but it was like 1.3. It was like the bar was like flying off his chest. And I just was like, it was just you're in the NFL and you're with those dudes who are like the cream of the crop, like elite freaks. It's like the stuff in the weight room you see online. It's like child's play. Like Ziggy Hood. You remember him? He was like a backup defensive tackle for a long time. Played like 12 years in the league.
Played with Pittsburgh for a while before he came here, right? Ziggy Hood?
For his recovery day, he would squat 450. Like that was his recovery day. And it was like easy. Like for volume, it was like 8 reps. He's like, oh yeah, I'm starting to loosen up. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
That's crazy.
So a lot of stuff like that. Yeah.
My couple of things that from covering, and then one myself was, I remember, it's just kind of a funny one, but Josh Norman, was really proud, like the day after one of the seasons, cause he like PR'd his bench press for the year. It was like 315 or something, which is like not nothing. It's not like NFL impressive, but also Josh Josh was pretty long armed and fairly skinny.
Yeah. For him, it's impressive.
It's pretty good number. But the fact that he like did it at the end of the year, but he's always like, yeah, man, want to peak for playoffs. And it's like, you guys are not going to the playoffs, but like, glad you got that. It was just classic kind of Jano thing where like, he was prepared to like go deep into the season. Unfortunately, it ended for them, at the end of the regular season. And then the other one, I've told this story before, definitely on the radio, but like, I lifted with Lorenzo once, and it was a group, and it was like me, Lorenzo, and I mean, I've lifted with Lorenzo a bunch over the years, Lorenzo Alexander. But like it was me, Zoe, and he brought a couple of high school football players with him. And I was the second heaviest lifter in the group, and I literally just would grab half of whatever Zoe did. It didn't matter the exercise. I just grabbed half of the weight and tried to do it. And I was successful at 50% of what Zoe was doing, including, this is a little technical, definitely getting in the meathead here, but like, an RFE stick. So
a rate of
rear foot elevated split squat.
Yeah.
But instead, so like a Bulgarian split squat, if you don't know what that is, like Google it real quick. But instead of just like going up and down in this lunge type movement, you let your foot leave the ground and like stick it. So it's a plyometric movement. And Zoe did that again on a single leg with 110-pound dumbbells in each hand.
Yeah.
That's stupid. If most people tried to just lift one 110-pound dumbbell in a single leg squatted movement, they wouldn't get off the ground.
I also saw Julio Jones, he's a big man, but I saw him
for a wide
box squat with chains, 475, not counting the chain weight. And again, it was like a hydraulic press. And it just, when you see those types of guys lifting and you're like, you are genetically superior to me in every like physical way. Like you're all,
I have to figure out how to block you or do whatever it is. Like, great, cool, fun.
Yeah, awesome,
good time. All right, that's Jalen Hurts squat 600 pounds, and that's part of the reason why the tush push works. Okay, that's the tie to Philadelphia. Thanks for listening to Take 5. We will see you guys for the full preview of actual Philadelphia Eagles versus Washington Commanders football tomorrow. Thanks for watching this clip of Take Command. First, why don't you like it? It lets other people know that it was good, and then they should watch it too. And Logan, we have a new exclusive home for full episodes.
We do. 1067 The Fans YouTube page. Go check it out and please subscribe.
Yeah, do what Logan said.
Do it.
Very, very smart.